Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about constant headaches or recurring headaches and digestive issues. Not going to do a deep dive into it, but kind of give a little overview of some things that could be a reason for why they are occurring. So the focus is on gluten, but there can be many other different causes for both of these things. So as an example, after you have finished eating, is that when you notice a headache or a heaviness of head, a migraine, for instance? Now keep in mind that it might not be instant. It might not be instantaneous. Maybe it's a few hours after you eat, or maybe even a few days. So it's always beneficial, if you're trying to figure out what the root cause is, to kind of keep a food journal. And then you can see if there's a pattern of having these headaches or digestive issues, whatever it might be, after eating certain foods or categories of foods. So it's really important, though, to listen to your body, pay attention to your body. So, for example, this headache, the digestive issues, whatever it might be, are your body's warning signal to you that something's wrong. It doesn't like whatever it is that is attacking it at that moment. So it's really important for you to listen to your body, because everybody's body is different and everybody's body reacts differently. So as an example, if you have a sensitivity to gluten, you may get headaches, whereas the next person may get diarrhea, or another person just might get bloating, or the other person might have constipation. It's such a variety of symptoms and reactions. That's why you have to listen to your body and pay attention to what might be affecting you. Now there could also be it could be foods. It doesn't have to be gluten. It can be other foods. It could be a lack of nutrients. However, if you do have a gluten intolerance, we do not absorb the nutrients from the food that we eat. So eventually there could be a lack of nutrition, a lack of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, a deficiency of these things, because you're not absorbing what you need to absorb in the gut. It could be chemical exposures. I'm an expert on that. Multiple chemical sensitivities here. And that can affect your gut. Sometimes when I'm around certain chemicals, I am instantly hungry. There's an instant, deep pit hunger, even though I may have just eaten. So chemicals, environmental chemicals, cleaning chemicals, in your household even, your laundry products, your personal care products. These, unless you've really paid attention to them, these all have chemicals in them and are allowable because they found a workaround it. The FDA does not monitor those things. So it's important to figure out what they are. Now, also some of these chemicals can be in the foods that we eat, right? So, for example, processed meats. They have specific chemicals in them to process them. Processed cheeses. Main triggers as far as foods are concerned are sugary foods. Sugar just causes inflammation. Inflammation plays a key role in any type of health issue that we have, okay? Alcohol, dairy, artificial sweeteners. Again, you have those chemicals in there. Things our bodies were not meant to process. So if you're eating a lot of these types of food, you have to try to, pick them out and decipher which ones are your specific triggers. And, I have a whole program about helping to do that. So, my gut healing program. But, again, your shampoos, your personal care products, perfumes, these things can all contribute to your health. Even histamines, things like that. It could be foods. It could be something in your food like that. So, yes, you can increase the amount of nutrients you get, like your vitamins and your minerals, but keep in mind, most of the vitamins and mineral products are processed. They don't come from live foods. They're manufactured. I had a company that was focused on gluten. I picked away at their brain because it was like after having their supplements for 2 months, 1 month I felt great, 2 months back to where I was, and they finally said, well, this is all manufactured. I'm like, what? Say what? No way, this isn't what I'm trying to put in my body. How does your body identify with a manufactured item? Tell me that. It just made no sense to me. So just keep in mind that you have to dig down to what your trigger is, and the only way to really do that is to pay attention to what you're using on the outside of your body, in your homes, in the areas where you can control, and what you're taking into your body in the way of food and drink and so forth. Because, your liver is your detoxifying unit. It is your best friend when you have autoimmune diseases, because it needs to be your best friend. Let's say that. But if you are having these issues, that means your liver is working overtime. And so you don't want to add injury to insult by continuing to contribute to the workload that it has to do. Alcohol, we all love a little alcohol here and there, but alcohol has to go through this process in the liver. It has to be broken down by the liver. And if it's already overburdened and overwhelmed, it's just going to say, I can't deal with you right now, and it gets shifted off and settles in other areas of our body. Headache, digestive issues, other things. Bloating, cramping, heartburn, all these things can take shape. So there is a famous Roman poet and philosopher, Lucretius, who said, what is food to one man may be fierce poison to others. And that's so true. You cannot base your health journey on what others have been successful with. Other people can certainly say, hey, this is what helped me. This is what has helped a lot of people. And in general, that can be like good information to gather, but only you can listen to what your body is saying. And so take all this information and apply it to you and try to figure out what your specific triggers are. It might not be all of those things. It could just be one of them, which is like, that's amazing if it is. That's fantastic. But if you have multiple chemical sensitivities, for example, we can't always avoid those things when we're outside of our home. But when you're inside your home, you are breathing those things in. And that goes through your entire body and affects everything from your brain all the way down to your gut, and it affects your entire digestive system, your respiratory system. It affects your entire being. So it's crucial that you try to figure out what your triggers are. So those are my tips for today, friends. Now, go be awesome.